hot girls listen to IB experiences and advices podcast in their free time. So, whoever's listening, hi, sweetie, I see you, and warm welcome to the first episode of the IB Girls. My name is Amelia, I'm the host of this episode, and let's just get into it. As an icebreaker, I would love to start by telling a little bit more about myself, today's episode topic, and just in general what we're gonna cover and discuss. Even though I already mentioned it in the title of this episode, I just wanted to clarify that in this series, we're going to talk about MYP Grade 10 Semester 2 exams that are the first bits of taste you take of DP and how it is going to be in DP taking all of those exams and being a hardworking student. And in particular, I want to discuss these exams, the mistakes I made in the preparation to them, because as known, this is the first time students take exams in whole MYP that actually have something similar to do with the DP exams, therefore preparation for what it is going to be in DP. That's why teachers are trying to center students' attention around these exams, even though they might not count as a real exam grade, therefore they don't take like 20% off your grade, final grade. It might be as simple as another criteria, A grade. I still find it really important to try your best to apply your knowledge of learning, revising, and repetition when preparing for the grade 10 exams, because this is a free ticket of experiencing what is going to be like in DP. Therefore, you can build up your experience already starting now. And because of that, I know how hard and overwhelming it might be for some students. I am some students. It was for me like that, and throughout my experience, even though I still haven't taken the exams yet, I changed so many strategies depending on how would they make me feel, how would they make my brain feel, like do I actually understand this, do I actually remembering stuff, or am I just spending hours learning and the minute I try to remember it in the class, for example, I just can't. It's like the first time me seeing this question. And logically, because I've been there, I've known there, I've suffered there, I got out of there, I now have a list of things you should not do while preparing for your grade 10 exams. And in particular, I just want to talk about MYP because this is where I am right now and I don't have much experience of DP yet. Therefore, we're going to be just centering right over here. And let's just get into it. First in my list, I've got do not study without a study guide. And to clarify on this, I just want in general give this massive hint that MYP is relaxed. It does not require much effort when you know what teachers are asking you to do, when you know what specifically each teacher likes to see in their work. And basically because of the rubber structure of it, it is easier to go around the deadline and navigate the deadline with the teacher. You do not have to be this uptight about your deadlines and stuff. And because of this whole structure, and obviously teachers are aware of this, they also do realize that having this exam is a much of a shock for a student. Therefore, in most cases, teachers provide you with a study guide or study plan. Would it be either worksheets of similar what's going to be on the test, or maybe it's going to be just a summarized topics of what's going to be on the test, or some nasty teachers might simply say everything we've covered through, it's gonna be an exam. And in this current phase of this episode, I just want to talk about these kind of teachers because not they are the most annoying one, but also they hide a lot. In case you're familiar with these kind of teachers, I just want you to know that the best thing you could do, in any case, do not try to study on your own and actually revise everything you've studied throughout the exam. Obviously, you can start using past papers, which is going to be really, really smart of you, but still, it's really, really broad and far from your target goal. Therefore, the solution for this would be to stay after the class or to email his teacher and ask for a meeting and simply talk them through, like show them your interest in their subject, say that I started preparing and I'm really anxious about your subject because it is really important for me to score high in it. Basically, make them believe like you actually care, even if you doesn't. People want to hear what they want to hear, not what you actually think. Therefore, it is important to say all the things they want to hear, and show respect to your teacher. Suggest that here is the list of topics we've covered throughout the year, and I was just wondering, are we gonna have all of those? So first of all, you have to be prepared, actually find all the topics you study throughout the year, mark the ones that you believe are going to be 100% on the test because these topics are important. For example, in bio, cardiovascular system was really important in our school. Therefore, without even asking my teacher, I know it's going to be on a test. However, such as female reproductive system wasn't really as important of a topic, unfortunately. Therefore, I already had a question coming up. Are we still going to have this on a test? And because we had lots of labeling throughout the year of studying biology, but didn't really get a lot of it during tests, I also had a question whether we're going to have labeling task in the test. And believe me or not, but teachers were actually eager to show me their interest in my questions, and they were answering them really honestly, and I'm 100% sure that on a test, I'm not gonna get labeling tests because they told me so. I came into the classroom after the class, so none other kids are pressuring the teacher because we all know how much of a pressure it is because we've all been in similar situations. And I calmly explained them my situation, that here is my problem. Are we gonna have everything? Can you give me some specific things that are gonna be on a test? Try to narrow it down, trying to explain that it's really important to you, and yada yada yada. If for any reason you are unable to get the study guide from the teacher, or they keep telling you, how it was in my case, in 2 weeks, right, 2 weeks before the exam, I'm gonna give you the study guide. Right now, just study. Like, I don't have it yet. I will, and I will not tell you anything until I'm done with the planning the study guide. This actually sucks because not only you have to balance all your subjects, but leaving everything to the last minute might be really overwhelming, especially when everybody's around you are studying and you just waiting for this nasty teacher to give you the study guide. Therefore, what I'm suggesting to do is, again, write down all the topics you learned throughout the year, and highlight, for example, in red, the topics you are 100% sure are going to be on a test, or the ones that you are interested the most. But please make sure those are not the topics you basically spend 30 minutes studying in the class as the warm-up question, because basically those are never going to be on a test. They're never going to get on exam as well. Try to center your attention around these topics that you are sure going to be on a test, and you can use lots of different strategies on how to study for them, like mini essays, summarizing, flashcards, and stuff like that. Therefore, to summarize all this huge monologue, my mistake was that I just took all the topics we've studied throughout the year in my school, and I started creating those massive flashcards of summarized topics. I did lots of good techniques like blurting and spaced repetition, which are really good, but the key point is, if you studied throughout the year, the fact that you still have it in your brain is pretty massive and significant. Therefore, you don't have to spend hours on end studying and revising the topics that are already in your head. All you have to do is to freshen it up, which you can basically do even 2 days before the exams. But taking into account the fact that you also have to balance out other subjects like math, sciences, INS, you need to take into account that studying 2 days for one exam might not make it through because you have other exams. And what if you decide, oh, I'm gonna study for all exams just 2 days before the exam? The pressure is gonna be really high before you take your first exam, because it is natural like that. You've never done this before. It's a critical situation your brain is not familiar with. Therefore, your brain might just stress out and not being able to concentrate as much as it would a month ago. I believe studying a couple of weeks before the exam is much more healthier for both your mind, your brain, and physical health. My second point doesn't really relate to the preparation of the exams in terms of 1 month before exam situation, I'm gonna sit down and start studying. It's more about studying throughout the year, which I found very useful because right now, as I sit down to study, for example, heart, cardiovascular system, my favorite example, I'll already see this massive labeling stuff, massive text of description of the blood flow, and it looks really overwhelming, but as soon as I start to dig through and write down descriptions and how I remember it from the class, I realize that it is all in my brain and I still have it. I just need to remind myself of some key terms and names for different arteries, for example. Therefore, throughout the year, I find it really important and something I would definitely start doing for DP. Of each topic you've ever studied, to do little flashcards or simply writing mini essays of the key concept and key details you encountered throughout the lesson, throughout the week you've studied this topic. Because right now, looking at my messy notes, it is pretty hard to understand what is main information and what is not. But as you study this in class and maybe you already took the test, you realize
because you already started
teacher
talking about
doesn't really
flashcards
care
and
about
all the
this
rest.
part
I
of
just
heart.
wanted to
She
concentrate
really
your
centered
attention
about
on how
the blood
freaking
flow
important
and
it is
arteries.
to have
I
everything
guess this is also going to be something
you studied
needed
for
in the
throughout
future,
the year,
and I don't
especially
think
if like
teachers
you were
gonna
creating the
change its opinion
flashcards,
on
mini
heart
essays,
suddenly.
massive
Therefore, creating those,
flashcards,
like
little
or mini
things to
essays,
keep your
writing
mind freshen up
about
about the topic,
is really good,
especially
first of
those
all,
past
for
papers of
spaced
all the
repetition
tests you
learning.
took.
It really
It's
stucks
really
in your brain
significant
if
for
you
your
write it
grade
down
10
or teach it
exam
to others.
that you have all of that,
And
because
especially
when
if
you
you
are
save those
preparing,
flashcards,
it
you have a
is
specific
really cool when you
room
have all
in
the material you
your
need.
room
You don't have
where
to
you
pay
store
more money
those.
to buy more
When exams
flashcards
comes
and
up,
create
you
new
simply
flashcards
can
when you already
take those
have the old
flashcards
ones
and
throughout the
have
year
all the
that are
material you
more
need
accurate,
and
because
just revise
you
them
created
once or
them
twice a
when you
day
had a
and you're ready
specific
for the
list of things you
exam.
needed to study for the test. And believe me or not, but the information you're studying for the test throughout the year would be most likely really accurate for the information that's gonna get on your exam. Therefore, creating this like tiny box of where you stuff all of that, especially if you categorize your flashcards into colors. For example, green is for INS, blue is for sciences. It's so much easier to navigate throughout this material, and then take out the exam, the past papers of your test, look through the mistakes you make, do your own reflections and stuff. This is what I haven't not been doing. I have this like a shelf on my desk where I have a collection of all my fresh cards to show off to my friends, hey, this is how much I study. But I never really like categorize them. I choose new colors for new subjects, and it's never the same, because why would you want to keep everything the same and boring if you can spice things up with color? Which I agree, but at the same time, second brain technique is really crucial, and just keep everything neat and tight, and it's gonna pay off in the future, because by creating new flashcards you're just working harder, and what I'm suggesting, work smarter and just sort things as they are, as you go, as you flow. Next mistake I made while preparing for my exam was the fact that I never used ChatGPT or any sort of AI at first. Now I changed, I do. And I'm not talking about it in terms of cheating, or I'm just gonna cheat, because you can't really cheat on exam with AI where you're not allowed phones in. So the best way to prepare, I discovered for myself, is that when you already have a topic, especially when it is summarized, or simply take a picture of a textbook with all the material you need, send it to ChatGPT, and politely ask to create a mini quiz or a mini test on the material you just shared with him. And to my surprise, I believe it's the best you can do with AI, because how structured his questions were, how organized it and broad they were, because the test included only a couple of questions, so it was like a really short quiz, but it had multiple choice, fill in the blank, true or false, match A and B, and short answer questions, which AI can then check for you. And when you send it to him, the results you've got, and for example, you do not understand what is blood, like what is the definition of blood, I can't get it, you are allowed to be annoying with the software. You can tell this how you would explain it to a second grader. I don't understand. Rephrase second time, rephrase fourth time. And you do not have this guilt. For example, you might have had with a tutor how he's explaining you the same material second time and you still don't get it, but you politely smile and cry at night because your parents spend money on this and you still don't get the results you're wanting and willing to get. And finally, the last tip of advice I've got for you, and the mistake I made in the beginning while preparing for my exam, is the fact that I studied alone. My mindset is pretty not so great in this case, because whenever there's a group work, I feel like just give all the work to me. I don't care how much time I'm gonna spend off all of this doing this alone, even though it's a group work. I know what I'm doing, and at least I am responsible for my own grade, and I will not get a bad grade only because one of you messed up. But it is really important to get rid of this mindset and to believe in the power of group work, which I'm trying to do really hard right now. Therefore, when studying for the exam, and specifically when you realize, oh my gosh, I messed up, I missed this huge topic, I don't understand it, it is really important to gather all of the friends you've got, the friend group, even if it's just like one best friend, to plan out this cute study date in, for example, Starbucks or any other coffee shop. Choose the topic you've got and divide it. For example, if you're studying the group of 4, you can cover 4 topics in about an hour. Just spread the topics, so person A gets topic 1, person B gets topic 2, person C gets topic 3, and person D gets topic 4. And this way, just spend roughly 30 minutes on studying this topic, and then at the end, just bring all of your ideas, teach each other what you just learned. And in this case, you learn so much quicker because obviously your friends are already rephrasing the information they found online into an easier language, so it is easier to memorize, so you don't have to worry about that, about it being hard. It's your friends, so you don't have to worry about re-asking many questions. Plus, communication, this forward-forth communication of I don't understand, explain it to me, is a famous technique of explain it to me like I was a kid. And teaching someone is a great technique of getting it into your brain and making sure it's gonna stay there for a longer period of time. Therefore, it's also one more plus to studying together with your friends. Plus, studying together doesn't feel like studying at all. It's like I'm here in Starbucks drinking coffee, eating muffins, and I'm enjoying time with my friends. It's social situation, and plus I'm studying for my exams, and we can complain throughout the session about the teachers we've got, about how hard it is to be a student these days, and just in general make it all really cute and girly and atmospheric. And in case you still find yourself really overwhelmed, confused, and in desperate need of help, I've got something for you. On a software called StudyPool, you can purchase any kind of notes on any kind of topic, from biology to visual arts. You can find past papers, someone else's essays, examples, samples, and overall, it's a great app not only to sell your own notes, but to also study and educate yourself. And just to make sure, I'm not sponsoring this, I in general really enjoyed this app, and I know that it's really useful for a lot of people. And in our case of this episode, I've got my own account there, and so far I have more than 15 notes uploaded to this platform, which are related to the current exams at the end of grade 10 MYP. I have lots of summarized topics, really heavy on biology and chemistry. Additionally, I have lots of about English literature, INS, physics, and mathematics. Therefore, this might be actually helpful for the upcoming exams and preparation, and just in general to see what topics you could have missed, or maybe you need something summarized. I all got it there. My username is AmeliiaL with no spaces. L at the end is capital and double E at Amelia at the end. I will leave a link to my account in the description of this episode, so you can reach out at any point of time and return to this, and maybe even got something useful that will help you ace your exams. And this is gonna be it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed of listening all the mistakes I made and hopefully will not make in the future. Hopefully you would not make in your upcoming exams or tests in MYP. I hope this was helpful and you find your own sense of what I was saying, and even though if there was a little bit of information that made it helpful for you, you still found your own truth in my words. I hope you're gonna have a great day. Enjoy your Pilates session, enjoy your hot girl walk, enjoy just solitude time with yourself, pick up a book, take a break from studying, because it's really important to have your mind in peace throughout this intense second semester of studying and getting ready for exams. I wish you all the manifestations in the world work out for you and you get the highest grade as possible. I hope you will enjoy the rest of your day, and just see you next episode, and bye.